Okay, so the arena island is now expanding, so you can now see that there are expansions happening to the arena island. There are four new structures, one there in the piggy lane, one there in the bear lane, one in back there in the wolf lane, and this one over here that's in the deer lane to hop over. The exterior boundaries have also been extended out, and this tower is now necessary for security to stand on top of to watch to make sure people don't go out of bounds, because you can't actually see all the boundaries from the third floor anymore. So I'm going to go down and show what all of these expansions look like a little more up close. Be really careful as you are coming down the stairs here. Pause here for a second though. Down there, or can you use the scope? No. Right over there though is Dabast's new fishing shop, so you can stop there to pick up some fishing stuff. The other thing that's going to change is I'm going to start selling ammo in the shop down by the water. So this is the piggy lane. So this will look the same. It's lit up, which you can't really see during the day, but this will look the same. But now instead of this being an exterior barrier, you can run all the way down to the bottom here and into this structure. So any structure that has that you can enter has no doors or windows. The sheet metal doors protect the TC, so you can't enter inside those. So you can run it in and out of the buildings and get sights on each other. So within this building, you have a pretty good sight of that building right over there. So you can kind of stop in here and get some good shots off in that direction. You can come up here and take cover behind this low wall, but you're not completely covered. People can still hit your head from up here, so you have to be kind of careful. But this is one spot here where you can run in through that side. You can also run out the back side if you want to retreat and make your way back around the other side here to hide. So that's the first building right there in the piggy lane. You can see I added a couple more wooden walls and then concrete barriers into this bear lane. So now once you come down the bear lane, you come down a little further, you come into here. So you have a nice sight over here of that building, got a nice sight over here of that building, got a nice sight over here of that building, and you can look up the hill, but you really only have a view of your own lane there. The other thing you can do though is run up on top here. So because you're actually in the middle of everyone's line of fire, you're covered along the back side here as you come up the stairs by some windows. Although once you get to the top, you're a little bit more exposed. And once you're on this top floor here, you're completely exposed. But you do have a better sight. Oops, you do have a better sight of what's going on inside the other lanes from up here. Over inside the wolf lane, I left this tree here. Hopefully it'll still be there, just as like an extra thing. There's a whole bunch of barriers, and it's a run all the way down to the very end. So that's actually at the exterior of this arena now. And you can run in behind these barriers and take cover and be pretty much covered from a lot of the angles here. You can come in under here, be covered from that angle, and so that's kind of helpful. And then you run it down in here, and you're at the back. So you have line of sight down here. You can see back up the hill from where you came. You can't really see up the other lanes, but you can see into the other area over there. Or sorry, the other building over there. And then once you climb up onto the top floor here, you have some more open sights. Whoops. Keep falling off. So you can also go out that door as well if you want to get in behind the person in that building. But you have more open sights up here with the TC up here, so you can kind of take cover behind the wall and duck in behind here, but you're pretty exposed still up here. But you can see up their lane into their watchtower, that kind of thing. Finally, in the deer lane, so the deer lane has a little bit more of a limited top part. So there's only kind of one. I'm just going to run up to the top here. You can enter in through that side and get some shots off there. You can run down and enter in through this side, but it's kind of tight with the barrier walking up on this side. So the way it works is on this side, so the wolf can come in from this side and climb up the stairs. But if they do that, as soon as they jump up there, they're completely exposed to this side. So you have to be really careful if you're the wolf running up on here. The deer has a pretty straightforward thing where they can jump up here and they're still covered pretty well from a lot of the lines of fire over there. Not so much over there. Once you're up here, you're pretty exposed, but you have a nice keep falling. You have some nice sights from up here. But the deer can also run along this backside, staying under cover, and they can run up these awkward stairs that I built that actually work, but they're awkward. I swear they do work. Yeah. So you can come up here. You can also hide inside here, get some shots off in this direction. And then I'm going to put these barriers behind each of the buildings so you can't sneak around. So that the backs of the buildings will be kind of the exterior there. So the sun's going down now, but I'll just explain what my idea was for this wipe. So the whole idea with the arena island tower, with the tower and the whole island, is to have long lines of sight. So still where I had the arena last week, in the same area that it was, like tight, close to the tower, there's still really close quarter battles that you can have inside those tight areas down here by the furnaces and stuff and by the rocks. But as you go out further, there's less cover and more long lines of sight for sniping. So I'm hoping that there'll be more sniping in these battles because you can kind of spread out a little further. And even if you cross into someone else's lane, like you're not, just because you're in the wolf lane doesn't mean you can't sneak across and make it into the piggy building and pick people off that way. So there's a lot of different strategies you can use now with that, and hopefully it'll encourage more like long lines of sight and sniping battles. And security will also be able to snipe from up here, which is kind of cool. Be able to take anyone out who goes out of bounds. So the plan for the rest of the wipe is to actually put, for the next week, I'm actually planning on building this tower up a little bit more, another 3 stories. So you get a full view of the island, and then build up the tower as tall as it can go according to Fortify. And then I'm going to put out another 4 buildings on the beach that are actually going to be spawn points. And I'm going to have up to 8 spawn points on this island. So we can have battles of 8 people, full island PvP, which will be awesome. There'll be long lines of sight. You'll have the mine if you want to go in there. You'll have a forest over here. You'll have these cliffs over here that you can run up if you're starting on the beach. All these buildings will still be here. There's enough stone in them to keep them up for the wipe. And then this close quarter area near the tower. And then the security will be able to stand up here and watch. So it'll be pretty sweet. And those will also operate for the most dangerous game, which I'll explain later. But the sun is setting now, so I think it's time to go to sleep. That is the new arena expansion, so let me know what you think. If you are on top of the tower, please be very careful. Security will get priority in terms of coming up on the tower and getting the views that they need to be able to take people out. Otherwise, you just go down to the 3rd floor. So, enjoy. Come check it out if you're on the island.